Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is April 3rd, 2016. I'm going to be going over my weekly swing trade ideas, my weekly trade ideas for this week. I know it's quite kind of early, but I've been up early and I just wanted to get this out of the way. That way I can enjoy the rest of my day. Um, let's go over. Okay, first of all, this is my Twitter. For any of you guys that do not follow me, it's at BarryMohan81. There you'll find a link to my blog, YouTube, videos, and link to the weekly webinars that we do on Wednesday night at 9, and also a link to awesomecalls.com where I trade at daily. Okay, so let's get into it. Last week, 327 weekly trade ideas. First on the list was OMER. I was looking at this Pearson pattern right over here. So I was looking for a 1365 bottom, and it pulled down to 1425, but I was looking for a 1550 target. So it got up to the target, but it didn't really hit the bottom for a perfect entry on that one. If you didn't catch it, can't fight you on that one. Next on the list was SPIL. I was looking on this one here for a pop to $8.25. It hit $8.25. Short entry and bring it back down to $7.75. It came down to $7.88. I'd say that one was almost too perfect. Next on the list was Pandora. I was looking for this one for a pullback to 1035. It actually pulled way much more than that. So if you entered in this one on the short side, worked out pretty nicely for you. Next on the list was Amber. I liked it. I liked it before the big pop too. Okay. This video is on 327. This is 329 here. So, anyways, I liked it here. Pearson candle right down here, and yeah, that was it. I pretty much liked it off the Pearson. I said take it, and with a 43 price target. No, actually it said 43 plus, so it actually came up to about 46. I said that's a pretty nice win. ACHN was the next one. I was looking at this one on a channel trade for a breakout. Obviously, you can see that it broke out to the upside, so the pattern pretty much worked here. I was looking at this inverted head and shoulders right down at the bottom over here. Held that very nicely, broke the trend here to the upside. So this was a nice one. Low risk, not crazy reward, but I mentioned that in the video that it wasn't going to go up crazy. But if you're still in, you're still in, and I still see a 925 on the top side of this one. Icpt is the next one on the list. This was of this bullish engulfing down here. I was looking for a breakout over the 50 EMA. Obviously, it never came over the 50 EMA, so hopefully that one did not cause anybody any harm. UAN. What was I looking for on this one? I was looking for a $9 price target to the upside for a short back to $7.96. Came up to $8.85, and $7.96 was also in. So that one it wasn't a huge mover, but it was definitely within range. APD. I was looking for this one to pop to pop. Okay, pop. Okay, so I was looking for this one to pop. This was based off of, what was I basing this off? Okay, bearish engulfing here. I was looking for a pop to short back into. Okay, so I was looking for a pop, and you did get the pop to the upside, but the push to the upside that I wanted was a little higher than I actually wanted. So if you did play the pop, great, you would have made on the long side. But if you tried to nail it on the short side, definitely you would have gotten stopped out. But I'm still, right now the chart looks like it just wants to consolidate a little bit and go back more up. If you played on the long side, you won. If you played on the short side, you lost. So my fault. ROST. I was looking for this one for a pop to 58. Came up to 58.70 something, and then short. Okay, so you should be into a short position here already if you if you are playing this one. And the last one on the list was Tesla. Now Tesla obviously had some huge ups and downs this week, but if you played it from the beginning, popped to $234 and then short it, you would have made a monster move. And I played this during this week straight up to the 234, 235, somewhere around there. Then I shorted it and I made some decent money on it. So up and down. Forget the entire, section where the car itself was unveiled, but the inside of the trade was right there. Long it to 234, short it at 234 something, bring it back down. So it was right there. So out of the 10 for the week, the only one that really did not work perfectly, I think was the one that didn't break out completely out of the over the 50 EMA. Anyway, so this week, was it April 3rd, 2016? Wow, we're in April. Alright, let's get into this. First on the list is Icpt. Here's how I'm looking for this. This is approaching a very, very important trend line here. If you look further out on a much bigger time frame, you'll see that's a pretty big important trend line that it's trying to approach here. So here's how I'm gonna play it. It obviously is flagging, making higher lows over here. It seems like it wants to break out, and it actually, if you pin this right here, it did kind of almost break out. So volume's coming in, stochastics getting up, MACD's curled up. I think it actually pushes through. Even if you get a pullback, it should be small back to 129.25 area, and then it should be a nice upside move to about 140. Next on the list is Jdst. Now I'm a little bit curious with gold right now, so I'll tell you how I'm playing Jdst and why I have it on the list. I'm looking for this one to pull back a little bit more here. It's making higher lows. Now this is a very easy, clean, low risk reward if you played the trend to exact. So if it pulls back to the trend somewhere into this range over here, then you can definitely take some with risk to the trend, or even risk to low, because it isn't that much off of it, and you can try to see if you can get an upside move. If you do get the upside move, $8 plus on that one. Next on the list is MET, M-E-T. What am I looking for in this one? This is a Pearson pattern right here over the 50 EMA. So I already like that. And it is sort of flagging over here. There are some top end areas. If you do watch here, there's a little head and shoulder pattern going on there. But I say if you get a pullback here to 44, it's at 44.56. If you get a pullback to 44 area, and it holds, use the 50 EMA as your stop, and then run it up to $48. Next on the list is HIG. HIG, what am I looking for at this one? Okay, you can already see that it's an extended chart over here. This thing came from in the 30s, up in the 40s, now about 10-point run up here. So what am I looking for? I'm looking at the MACD. MACD's already starting to curl down. I'm looking at stochastics, just way kind of hot right here. So I'm already short biased on this one, just looking at it. So if you get a pop up to 47.70 or so, I look for a nice short entry, bring it back down to 44, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in this one. Next on the list is MAT. Okay, breaking a trend here. Obviously pushing through the top of it, so I like it already. MACD is curling up. Stochastics is fine. It can run hot for days. It's fine. Volume's consistently coming in here at the top, so I like that. It's actually increasing, very small, but it is increasing here at the top. So if you get a nice pullback on this one to about 33.75 or so, I say you can take it long. Risk to 13, take it long to about $36 on MAT. Next on the list is LKQ. This is going to take a while for me to figure out how to type this, but I don't care how to type the ticker as long as I see the setup. Kind of extended over here. Okay, huge volume here. I like that, but I think it's getting a little bit overextended. Anyways, exuberant buying right there for no reason. So one little pop here to 32.45 range, and I'd be on watch. I didn't say I would take it. I said I'd be on watch for any sort of weakness up top here, and for it to bring it back down short to 31.25. VRX. Now this is interesting. Hated by many, loved by many. I don't care. I'm playing the chart. Double bottom over here. Watch that. Bullish engulfing on a double bottom is pretty okay for me to take an entry on that long, and obviously risk the bottom if it breaks out. If it falls through, then just get stopped out. But I think a double bottom on a bullish engulfing on a double bottom bounce. MACD's curling up, stochastics curling up, nice little volume came in there. Why not take a chance? And if it moves up, you get 35 bucks out of it. DAR is the next one. Obviously another extended chart here. I'm watching the MACD's already kind of curled down underneath. Stochastics just keep going up. Volume just dipped right there on the day when it should have actually pushed up. So what I'm looking for this one here is maybe a pop up to about 1365 or so, and watch it for a short entry, bring it back down into the 12s. Last one on the list is not the last one, sorry. Number 9 on the list is TROX. So I like this chart here actually. I like the fact that it's going that it's flagging, it's breaking. It did double top there, yeah, sure. But I think it actually pushes out, right? So if the chart brings it back and gives you a nice $6, $5.85 entry or so, I like it. I like it long, risk down here, and play this to the upside. There's a lot of areas of support here as it comes down into this inverted head and shoulder pattern over here. A lot of support. Try to play it up to 850 on the long side. Xnpt is the last one on the list, breaking a major trend over here. So I'd like to see it pull back to the 50 EMA, somewhere right around into this zone here, 440, 450, and then play it for a 1 point up to the upside. Possibly may not happen in one day, but if you look at it, huge inverted head and shoulder, making higher lows, flagging here. Finally got over the 50s. Got to stay over the 50 EMA or this whole trade fails, alright? So as far as that's the 10 on the list for this week. Let's see what I see for the market itself. Let's look at SPY. Huge bullish engulfing. Engulfs not only one but two candles. Sitting on the 13 EMA, over the 50 EMA. MACD's curled over. Volumes coming in where it should. I think the market pushes up higher into this 209, 210 range over here. Obviously that'll put your UVXY, TVIX, all that stuff a little bit lower. As far as oil goes, let's look at DWTI. Okay, 813 crossover, MACD crossover, stochastics popped there. I say one more push up on DWTI, meaning that oil could come down just a little bit more, and then we're gonna look for an entry in any of the oil stuff like UWTI, for example. Okay, so watch this trend over here on UWTI, because it could be a nice one if you can nail the trend over here. Very low risk if you catch it, and then stops right under it. As far as gold goes, let's just look at nugget, just one or the other. It's the same thing. Head and shoulders obviously setting up over here, but watch that MACD and the stochastics are a little bit curled to the upside, so we can see that this pattern probably come up into it, push up to the head and shoulder area. So what am I looking for is gold to go up a little bit more, and then you can try to get into that Jdst. That's why I said pull back first on that one, so that you look for your gold to go up a little bit more. So that's the 10 for the week. Hopefully we can have a great trading week this week, and give me a follow on Twitter. I put out a lot of stuff there, and also if you're not part of the chat that I'm in, it's awesomecalls.com. Alright guys, have a good one. Thank you.